Yes, people. What is going on? Welcome to Rivals Talk. We're back live. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We got man like Fuad in the building. What are you telling me, broski?
All good, bro, man. Had a day off, relaxing, hot weather. I see
Oh, man.
pre-season friendlies are going on, you know what I mean? There's a lot to talk about, you know what I mean? We
There's a
said,
lot to unpack, bro. I'm good, man. Listen, I'm just chilling, man. I've got these Liverpool fans coming out my mentions, man. They're saying
oh,
to me, somebody a pre-season friendly. They're coming at
mhm.
me, man. You know what I'm
Listen,
saying?
where's Grizz? Where's our Liverpool rep?
Yo, Grizz, man, you know what I'm saying? He had to pull out, man. He had to pull
Mm.
out. I don't know what happened, but listen,
What
Grizz
we
had to pull
saying?
out.
We're pulling out pre-season friendlies now, yeah? Aye! Okay!
Aye, listen, Grizz, yo, Grizz, big up to Grizz each and
I know
every
you're
time,
watching
man.
somewhere.
Yeah, he's watching somewhere in it. But listen, we're gonna give Grizz the benefit of the doubt, you know what I'm saying to you. Big up to Grizz each and every time. But man like Nunez, in it, he says speak on it, man. Did you catch any of the game, by the way?
Nah, bro, I was doing some other stuff this morning. I was
Yeah,
busy. I
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
You'll have to walk me through it, bro. Please talk me through it, because I before it, I was seeing
Mm.
United Liverpool. I'm thinking, all right, this preseason, you never know how results are gonna go. Players are getting their fitness up, but I saw Liverpool had significant firepower to kind of cope with it. I was like, United haven't really made any changes, but it'll be
Mm.
interesting to see kind of how Ten Hag will kind of get into this game, and is he able to implement his kind of ethos whilst still having the same group of players from last year. So I thought that would be kind of things to watch out for, but I didn't see it. And then next thing I know, I see 4-0. I'm seeing
Yeah,
Eric Bailly doing up one-man runs from centre back. I'm seeing clips on
bro.
like, what is going on here?
Mm.
Darwin Nunez is already getting Central C memes. I said, listen, it's
Yo,
only
send the locations. Send the
and we're here
locations.
already. I said, nah, it's all mad, man. It's all mad. So talk me through it.
Uh,
What happened?
so basically, obviously, other than the 4-0, Man United looked sharp, man, the first half. They took advantage of the young G's in there. You know what I mean? They slaughtered them. Gomez had a nightmare game. He got subbed off after like I don't know how many minutes, but he
New
got subbed
contract.
after like 30 minutes exactly. But yeah, man, Martial looking sharp, Sancho looking sharp. You get me? And I feel like United just kind of like tore them apart first half. Maybe there's a reason why Ten Hag got the first 11 maybe stronger in the first half, because he knew maybe Liverpool would play their younger kids and
Yeah.
maybe take a bit lightly. But we came in, bro, and Martial was cooking, Sancho was cooking. You know what I'm saying? To them, man stood out in the first half, and I'm happy because there's this kind of feeling with Martial is that it's time now to deliver in it. But he looked a bit more kind of authoritative. He looked a bit more kind of like, he was pressing at every given opportunity. So I was liking it, man. And you know what I mean? For me, I'm not as if I'm taking this to a whole new level, but for what we've had for so many years, this is
Yeah.
what we want to see in it. We want to see a bit of different style. There was more pressing from Man United. There was a bit of element of, kind of like the element of get the ball and win the ball in the first quarter of play. So I feel like for me, I'm just happy, man. You know what I mean? Man, like Ash
That
is saying
was
there.
that was what you wanted to see out of a first
Yeah,
preseason game. Kind of see Liverpool play a weakened side, set the tempo, play the
yeah.
full 11, and kind of just see, even if it's glimpses of what Ten Hag could kind of bring.
Mm.
But then, do you think now, speaking on Martial and saying he had a good game there, do you think he's someone who Ten Hag is going to look at this preseason and say, do you know what, I'm going to see if I can kind of bring you back into the mold? Because there was a reason possibly why there wasn't a permanent clause included in that Sevilla deal, if you remember. So
Yeah, facts.
I think the vision has always been, yo, let him get his confidence up at Sevilla. All right, if it don't work under a new manager, he can kind of get a new lease of life. Do you think, are you kind of back in the Martial boat a little bit? Because I know you was a little bit, all right, it's time to move on from him.
Yeah, I'll be real.
Back in?
I don't know if I'm fully back in there, but he has to prove to me why he deserves that spot. There's always that one player that I feel like in every team, like they let you down so many times. It's not as if you've like I said to him, I'm leaving you completely and I don't want you anymore. But it's almost as if like I can't back you. Man, yo, bro, you know how much it is to back Martial in public? Sometimes it can get embarrassing, man. Because you got to say
Ndombele, trust me, I know.
you see what I mean? Like to back Martial in public, bro, I couldn't do it anymore. The set man that can do that, I couldn't do that anymore. And it got to the point now where I never slandered him. It wasn't a case of like Rashford level where I'd be like, yo, Rashford's washed in it, and Rashford's not that sort of player anymore. Martial is kind of like consistency in it. But it's now or never for Martial to answer your question. Like, he's got to prove now where he needs to be that focal point. He needs to be the first man there. Because Ronaldo's he's aging now, and he's not the same sort of player. And my man's trying to, offer himself to other clubs, which we'll talk about in a bit. But, for me, this is now or never for Martial. There's no more excuses, man. You see what I'm trying to say, bro?
And I fully hear that. You're almost saying like it's up to him to prove himself to the squad. It's no longer a situation where do you know what weirdly this situation reminds me of, that you're saying, like, of him almost coming in under Ronaldo? It reminds me of when he first came in, bro. And it was like Zlatan was there, and he was like, trying to bring man under him and having his moments at Liverpool, having his moment at Sunderland or whatever. But I'm like, bro, so many years has gone by, and it's like the fact that we're back here all over again. I don't know if United fans can have that same kind of faith and backing that he'll come and deliver. As you said, it will be up to him to kind of step up and deliver that. You mentioned there, though, Rashford, who kind of you fully sold stocks on. He was another one that side. What did you think of him today?
I thought today he didn't look the level of Martial and Sancho, because, there was a certain level that they went up to. I don't think he went to that level. He looked a bit lively. He looked like he was in the groove. I thought the front three connected well in terms of, like, they're a front three that's going to be mobile and can interchange in it, so they don't have to be maybe kind of stagnant in their position. Ten Hag wants to kind of keep them free flowing, but again, was he at the same level as the other two? Maybe not, because they kind of maybe performed a bit more in terms of more with intent, and I thought conviction as well. Wise, he had a few opportunities that he didn't take well, which I thought maybe the others would have done better on. So it's all about kind of like understanding where these players are going to go. Because for me, all of them players, bro, apart from Varane and I think it's Sancho, I think all of them are like 2-3 years now under Man United line. Bruno came in 2020. You know what I mean? These guys have been given opportunities, so it's now or never for these players, bro. You feel me?
And I think with a new manager coming in, what better clean slate to kind of start that? Bruno I'm hearing was given this kind of like free license number 10 role. What's his role going to be now? He's got the number 8 shirt. I don't know what the captaincy situation is looking like, but I know he's in the front running if it is up for grabs.
Of course. Of course. I thought he was
Ten Hag builds around.
I think for me, it's about discipline, isn't it? I think today he had a more of a discipline role. He had a more of a kind of roller in terms of like, trying to keep the ball, trying to make things a bit kind of like more tidy. I think that will be the new kind of like, Bruno Fernandes in his team, because man like Ten Hag has got 100 of them in Holland, didn't it? That don't get the same clout as Bruno Fernandes got. So it's now a case of, you might not get the GA that you wanted under other managers, but you know what? You're definitely going to have to put a bit more effort in terms of keeping the ball and maybe kind of having that conviction of, being able to kind of solidify yourself as a player and mature as a player. So, yeah, man, he wasn't amazing, but for me, he kind of like maybe stood under the radar, which is a good thing, innit? But like I said, man, it was pre-season vibes. You get me? Liverpool looked a bit all at sea. Man like Darwin Nunez. I don't know if you've seen the miss and that. I don't know if we have to show it to the people.
Nah, show me. I actually, big man thing I haven't seen. The only one I saw was the Luis Diaz one, I think, that came off the post. And he just...
Yeah, so there it is. I don't know if you can see that there.
Interesting.
Away, but
yeah.
Yo, you know them ones where you got new fans in the stadium and you're giving the ball to, I see you, Nunez, people. I see you lot in Rosette. Shout out to you.
Oh my god.
This is for you, man, over there.
That's crazy. But if you actually just look at the actual, like, it was harder to kind of like look at this.
Do you know what? With the defender
it's harder
there,
to miss than score.
I get it. I don't want to overanalyze it. It's preseason. I'll let him get his fun.
Yeah.
Personally, people who've been following me or whatever know how I feel about that.
Look at this one here.
I think Liverpool overpaid massively for this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And have a look at this now. So what you got?
I think this is the same. Look, this is the same one. I think this is the same one. But yeah, man, listen, people are going at him already, saying,
where do you rate Darwin Nunez? How do you rate him?
You know what? I'm not gonna kind of like go in on him. I'm not gonna go in on him. But he's a raw talent, though, isn't it? No, like it's still not a finished article, but it was someone that you had to go and get at that time, innit? You feel me? Like you had to go and get Darwin Nunez at that time. Liverpool had to go and get him. Sorry?
Why? What makes you say that? What? Because they're losing Mane, you think, or because you
Losing
think that
Mane,
they need to change that number 9 role?
exactly, and also because of the fact that you got to realize there's not many kind of number 9s out there now, and he's almost like a franchise player, Darwin Nunez, in terms of like that. Like you got that player now that everybody's talking about, Darwin Nunez, he's the hot property right now, and if you don't get him now, he might cost a bit more in the future, or another team could go and get him, and then you're having to kind of scrap. Kind of like you kind of have to maybe scrape a case of going to this player here, maybe get Lewandowski who's aging. So it's difficult, man, and the market's not easy right now. I know you got Lewandowski, Benzema, Kane, but you still have to go and get another, another striker, and that is Darwin Nunez right now. People say raw talent. I think he still is raw. He's not finished article.
You almost bite into the hype. I feel like that's what Liverpool did. He played decent against them in the Champions League, and then Van Dijk goes and says, yeah, he's as tough as opponent. Great PR, but that doesn't mean you should pay 80 million, because just last summer, if I'm not mistaken, Brighton were linked with him for 30 million. That move didn't happen. Then in January just gone, Arsenal were linked and being quoted 50 million. So I'm thinking, brothers padding it up in the Portuguese league. And it's not even like, oh, I've been doing this in the Portuguese league and Champions League for 3-4 years. For me, it's 1 year. 1 year you've done this in the Portuguese league. You had a half decent run in the Champions League, and it's like, I get it. Maybe he might cost a bit, but 80 million. I think it's an overreaction to seeing Man City sign Haaland for 65 million. Fair enough, it's a release clause or whatever, but go and throw your hat yourself into that ring. You're competing with City at the top. Why not go and try and compete for Haaland? That's another case anyway. But for me, I don't think Liverpool needed to, for sure, to go and splash the cash on Darwin Nunez. If you're saying they had to, I don't know why. Because Man City did? I don't know. That doesn't mean you make...
It's competition now. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I'm talking as a Spurs fan, because Spurs people know I've been saying we overpaid for Richarlison 60 million for him to come and sit behind Kane and Son, essentially, which are the two positions that he plays most of the time in. But Darwin Nunez, 80 million, I don't know. I've asked Liverpool fans, how many goals is it going to take in the league for him to be considered a success? A lot of them were saying like minimum 15. I said, you're paying 18 million to expect 15 goals. And it's like, fair enough. The benefit he does have for me is he's young. He's got a Klopp who I think is known to kind of improve players, and players who are especially of raw talent like Salah, Mane. When they first came, they had like 1 or 2 kind of solid seasons, and then they came that next level, if that makes sense. He could possibly do that with Darwin Nunez. We'll see if he can coach that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then the question also, how does he fit into the system? Because remember, Liverpool's 9 has always been classically under Klopp almost like a false 9. Whether it's Jota, whether it's Mane, whether it's Firmino, it's always someone who's able to interlink, move around, move wide. Is Darwin going to be able to replicate that? Or are Liverpool now going to have to shift their tactics?
There's actual comp out there, right now. Just before I get the comp of Darwin Nunez's performance against Liverpool. And by the way, people, it's a chat that want me to put it up. But big up to Karen took the kids. There'll be no favorites in this squad. You can tell already just from the demeanor that if you don't follow instructions, you're out. And there's someone that take a chance. Exactly. I don't know if you've seen Ten Hag's quotes, but he weren't happy with the performance and there were so many mistakes. So listen, if he's saying that already right now, then that's scary, isn't it? That it's almost like the Conte kind of mode, isn't it? I like that Conte mode. You feel me? But let's see this. Let's see this come. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what this is saying, innit? Because a lot of people are talking about this, and I'm like, what's going on?
What is it? A comp, basically, of his fails?
Yeah, comp. Yeah, I'm just of the game, minute of the game. So we're just analysing thingy, innit? Shall I put it on
Bruv, they might take you down for copyright for this, bruv.
You reckon? No, normally they don't take it down, First. If I play it like this, they won't take it down.
Bruv, this is just a fail comp, man.
This is a fail comp. Oh, fair enough then. Yeah, this is a fail comp. I thought it was actually highlights. So fair enough then. Nah, this is a fail comp then.
One good moment yet, bro.
Yeah, this is a fail comp, man. This is a fail comp. But listen, I think with Nunez though, just to put the banter aside, I think he's a goal scorer. I know what Klopp is coming, and the deficiencies that he has in his game, I think Klopp will kind of look at it and think, you know what, there'll be things to override that. Like you're looking at Jota, you're looking at Salah in certain elements of his game. His system overrides people's deficiencies. Like that's what it will be. He'll be a goal scorer And that's that. Like, what are people looking for? Because his overall game isn't great when you look at it. It's the goals that he's been brought for, and that's what ultimately Liverpool will kind of hope for. So I think at the minute when people say he hasn't got no tech, Liverpool knew that. Liverpool will know that. But then Klopp, when he puts you in the system, he makes you look great, and that's what he does all the time.
So you think the system will, no matter what, be able to kind of make him shine, and he should be able to kind of fit?
Not always, but it will make him look better than maybe what he is. I don't know. Maybe that's a kind of wrong choice of words, but like with Yotta's game, is it a perfect game? Do you look at Yotta's game and think, oh, you know what? I love it.
But Jota's efficiency in order how he gets into positions, how he picks up spaces, the way he's 5'7", 5'8", but he's able to get up for them heads and win so many of them. And it's like, I feel like they paid 40 million for him, knowing that he was going to be kind of a squad player. I feel like he over exceeded expectations to the point where like they can almost phase out Firmino full time. Like that wasn't even a realistic option to Jota. And then it's 100%. Like, all right, you replace Jota with kind of Firmino, and now you've gone and spent 80 million to replace Jota, essentially, who had replaced Firmino. And I get it, Mane had left, Luis Diaz has come in on that side. You still want to add an extra layer, and it does add another wrinkle to their attack because it is a profile of player that they haven't had before. But listen, the one thing I do know is Trent and Robbo will continue to whip 100 balls a game, and that is a perfect target. So for him, I would be working my hardest on my heading game because the opportunities will be there, as you say. It's up to him if he takes it. I'm not sure I see him as a clean-cut finisher as maybe as you do. But yeah, for me, he should be able to eat in this system, which is why I think I'll be surprised if he doesn't get decent numbers next year, considering where Liverpool are as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Big up to everybody watching, man. Nearly 1,000 people watching, man. Guys, make sure you like the video. I always say let's get 500 likes before the video ends. So please make sure you do that, and also make sure you subscribe to Fuad Kodani, man. Make sure you go do that, people. Subscribe to his channel, and you know where it is. You know what I mean? Like I said to you, I'm not taking a lot from this, but then I'm also not kind of like being negative about it, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, you shouldn't be happy. Well, I'm just kind of taking it step by step, and I think you'll find out that in pre-season that it is step by step, and just understanding that the manager can bring his philosophy, and it's so kind of like fluent in it. You want to see that. So then when it comes to the Brighton game at home, it's just like water. The way the water runs out the tap, it's just so fluid. So let's just find out in it. But listen, we're gonna move over to Chelsea, man. Chelsea getting active now, bro. Koulibaly is on the radar, man. Apparently, they're about to agree a fee or in talks with Koulibaly. 40 million for a 30-year-old. Is that a fair price? Are they being ripped off here? What do you think for a 40-year-old, 31-year-old?
To be fair, listen, I don't know fees nowadays. They're always inflated because
they're always inflated. Yeah.
Also, it's about 32, 33 million pounds. Listen, for me, he's a proven player at kind of the top level. I think we'll say, yeah, he has his bozo moments or whatever, but what defender doesn't these days? And I think Chelsea needs centre-backs. I think he's someone who, I think if you're looking at the market right now, there aren't that many world-class centre-backs out there. They're being quoted 80 million for Jules Koundé. The Lick, they're getting quoted 90 million. So it's like, if you can kind of maybe still get one of them and Koulibaly, why not? Because they do need a couple of centre-backs with them playing a back three, back five, whatever you like. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad signing. I think it's actually very smart, to be honest. I think he's a player who I think has been waiting to take that next step. He's been at Napoli for
man.
8 years now.
Strangled down there, man. He's been there for a while, man. I remember we wanted him like 3 years ago.
Yeah, he's genuinely been linked with, I think, every single European top club at some summer, basically, whether it's United, Madrid, Barca, every team he's been linked with. So it's like now is kind of the opportunity for him to get that big move. 31, to be honest, I don't think it's as old as everyone seems. Let's remember, Silva moved to Chelsea when he was 36, and look how he's looked the last 2 years. You know what I mean? So that Chelsea system, Tuchel system, can protect him and can kind of put some extra years on his game as well. So
plus, I think he's got a natural athleticism in it. Like for a player, you know what I mean? Like I said, for many years, like, he's never looked out of place. He's got a funny injury record, but I think that's just kind of like because of his muscle type and his body type. But I think overall, I think it's a very, very good signing, man. I'll be honest with you. I think 31 nowadays for a defender, it's not the. I think it might. Would you say that's classed as a prime for a defender? like
I
30,
like
31.
27 to like 32, 33 is usually a defender.
Yeah,
After that is when you start to see them kind of have to adjust their game or have to kind
adjust
of
their
see.
game. Yeah.
But up until about 32, I would say they can really kind of play at that top level in my eyes. So I think if you could squeeze a year or two out of him and then kind of still have him protected in that back three system, I think that would be a good signing, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. Big up to Zayn Miasa here. I don't know what he's going to say here, but he's saying Gnabry should be joining us to partner with Gabriel, who is better than Darwin Nunez. I think he's talking about Gabriel Jesus. They're already getting excited about Gabriel Jesus, man. You know what I'm saying? They're already getting excited, man. Man scored what? Who's at Nuremberg?
Seconds
division and that.
Like that? Yeah.
Yeah, man. You man are crazy, man. But Gnabry's an interesting one, man. Apparently, they're saying that he's rejected a chance to move to Chelsea because of his Arsenal links. But I don't know, man, if that's just all kind of talk and that. When you look at it now, what loyalty does he have when they sold him? You know what I mean? And they give him opportunity.
He's not even like London born and bred. He was signed as an academy youngster, come through a couple years at Arsenal, and he's like, yeah, I live and breathe Arsenal. Once a red, always a red type of thing. I'm like, bro, they dished you out to West Brom and then sold you off to Werder Bremen on a free, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so it's like,
facts.
They didn't really treat you like this hot prospect, and now you're doing the most to kind of come back for them. And in reality, Arsenal cannot afford you, my brother. Arsenal do not even have a. In all honesty, he is good enough to definitely go straight into their starting lineup. But who are they going to drop? Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Jesus. All of these men who they've been gassing up for the past 18 months. I don't know, man. It's all tense.
Starboy Saka, he won't get there.
If Gnabry's smart, he and Chelsea's there, considering Chelsea just missed out on Rafinha, could be getting Sterling as well. Bruv, I would jump at that chance.
They've got to, because Sterling on his own is not enough, man. And Chelsea need more attackers, man, because they missed out on Rafinha, which I think always people knew that he was going to head to Barcelona. You know what I mean? And that was just a kind of reality. He was always waiting for Barcelona. So I wouldn't say he rejected Chelsea, but they need more attackers, man, because then there's Ziyech is leaving. You're looking at Pulisic is not good enough. You're looking at Werner. They see that he's not good enough aesthetically or whatever. They look at him, his overall game is meaty. So they need to go and get a kind of a player. And Gnabry, for me, fits the bill of what Tuchel would want. A guy who's hard-working, a guy who can press from the front, a guy who's in the top of his game right now at 26. You know what I mean? Maybe flat. It was very, very hot in terms of maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. Remember when he played you guys and he was on the up, like rising up. Like, but now he's still a good player for 26. It's still, I think he's got at least 5 years left in his game.
He should be hitting his peak now. What he's been doing at Bayern over the last couple of years, he's put himself at that status as being an elite player in Europe. Let's be real. He's had big Champions League nights. He's won multiple league titles there. He's had big seasons where he's put up big numbers, bruv. Internationally, he's sent up for Germany as well. So it's like, I'm like, bro, don't stunt yourself now in the hopes of like this kind of dream move to Arsenal type of thing, where it's really a project where you're kind of being shoehorned into it, in my opinion, when there's an opportunity there at Chelsea, even at City, if there's a chance there. Bruv, Gnabry should have everyone in Europe kind of at their knees, in my opinion, because he's only got, 1 year left on his deal as well?
Listen, 1 year left, yeah.
It don't make sense. Even the fact that Liverpool didn't go for Gnabry ahead of Darwin Nunez kind of didn't make sense to me, because if you're saying you want to replace Mane's goals, and go get Gnabry. If you're saying, all right, because Gnabry's thing now is apparently at Bayern Munich, he wants to play as a number 9.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the whole thing, where it's like he doesn't want to sign a new deal because he doesn't want to play on the wings. They want to play him as a 9, and they want to keep Lewandowski. And he's like, all right, cool. If you don't want to keep Lewandowski, I'm out. So now it's like, cool. Liverpool just spent 60 to 80 million, whatever, on Darwin Nunez, when I feel like Gnabry would have been a better option, in my opinion. But teams should be queuing up for Gnabry, in my opinion.
Nah, good top player, man. You know what? If it was available for Man United on the right hand side, I think we would have got there. But I think because of the way we've got so many in terms of like, you know, quantity, I just don't know if Man United at this minute right now was so obsessive with a right winger. But we'll see, man. Time will tell, man. Zayn Miasa says we got way more money than Spurs and bigger fan base. You might have better stadium. That's all. Listen, man. This Zayn Miasa is obsessed, you know, with other teams. You know, I've noticed, man.
Listen, we're just talking bull, bro. I don't know about all this dick measuring contest, brother. Listen, if your team is on the news, we're gonna talk about it. Don't be mad at it.
Yeah. Is this the right Babs, by the way? I don't know if this is the correct Babs. And Gnabry wants the Emirates return. People, let me know. Confirm to me if that's Babs, yo. Because if Babs moving shameless in the chat, then that's a madness right there. You know, I mean, expected better, but then again, he needs to fuel up the content. You know what I mean? I seen the
if I was Arsenal, I would be moving everything to go get Gnabry. If I'm honest, like Arsenal, instead of all this Paqueta talk and all that I'm hearing, it should be like, no, we're going to move heaven and earth to bring him back and put him in his rightful place. And my opinion, with Jesus, Saka, and Gnabry, listen, that's a problematic front three, bro, for anyone. I'll tell you that for free.
It is. You know what? But you know what is, yeah? I feel like with Arsenal, it just depends on what kind of position they have to prioritize. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a verified Babs. Yeah, cool.
Now.
All right, then, Babs. Say no more. Yeah, go on.
You look at it, their defense is sorted. They got Ramsdale, they got Tierney, Tomiyasu at fullback. They got Saliba back now to give them extra cover at centre back. Really and truly, it's just additional quality in depth. That's all they need. Yeah, they'll say they need another centre mid, which is probably what they should be prioritizing. But I don't know. You just signed.
I don't know what they're going for, man. This time is Milinkovic Savic, then it's Tielemans, then they want as a Martinez, then they want Paqueta. Like, I know it's paper talk, but again, it's like it doesn't seem to me like, you know, what kind of midfielder they kind of actually want. Like, it's a bit all of sporadic, man. Like, I don't know what they actually want, man.
What the profile? I think they want like
profile of player. Yeah,
I think they want like a proper number 8. They've got sitters in Partey, Xhaka, and El Neni. I think they just want someone who's able to kind of link that final third of the pitch and be a deep line playmaker, if you like.
Yeah, it's a madness. Apparently, Serge Gnabry has rejected a 19 million a year contract. It just shows that maybe he wants that number 9 position. Maybe he wants to be top dog, man, because players want to be top dog, innit? Players now want to be top dog. They don't want to be, you know, sidemen, innit? Like, let's be real, innit? Like, they don't want to be sidemen. And that's why Lewandowski wants to leave now, because he's thinking, you know what? I want a new challenge now. Let me be top dog at Barcelona. You know what I mean? So it's going to be an interesting kind of like situation. And obviously, with this Ronaldo news now, I mean, man, like Ronaldo is offering himself to different clubs, man. Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know if you've seen Ronaldo now is offering himself to PSG now, and they saying that they rejected him and that, man. Like? I think who said that to me? I think it was a Parisian Londoner. He said to me that apparently, Cristiano Ronaldo now has offered himself to PSG, and now PSG apparently now rejected it and saying, "No, they don't want anything to do with that, really." So
I don't know.
Where's this going with Ronaldo? I'm confused, me.
All of a sudden now, one thing I've realized in this window, is all of a sudden, no journalist and no paper is telling lies. I clock this. Where previous years, everyone used to be kind of skeptical of stories of like, yo, who's the source? Where are we getting this information from? Now it's like every story that comes out, fact. Yep, definitely. It's true. Ronaldo offered himself up to 17 different clubs. Yeah, I'm like, bruv, I swear I'm hearing my man's going through personal issues with his mum. Like, the last thing I'm hearing he should be considering is moves anywhere, bruv. Like, his mum's health should be a priority type of thing. So, I don't know. For me, if I'm hearing a man's got family, personal issues, that's why he's away from the club. And then the next minute I'm hearing he's offering himself at 17 different clubs. I don't know. Something ain't there for me. The thing is, he might be hinting to he wants out, or maybe he might not see himself in this project. But I'm like, it just one, it's come out of nowhere. Yeah. 2, as far as I'm aware, Ten Hag wants to keep him as well. He's got another year left on his deal, and of course, PSG are gonna refuse. For me, it's like they just went on an Avengers Assemble tour last year, bro, where they got Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. They said, we're gonna do the Avengers thing. It fell on its face, bro. Champions League quarterfinals. They're not trying to run that back with Ronaldo. I'm sorry. Like, this time we're gonna have 2 expiring goats. Nah, there's no.
Yo, man said 2 expiring goats. You know, that is mad. When you actually
I'm sorry, but it's okay to say Ronaldo and Messi are on a decline. Like, they've peaked, they've hit their peaks, and that's fine. But for me, it's at the stage where Ronaldo, his best situation for me is just stay at United. Do what you can for this final year. Try and leave out right. Be the kind of old head. And with Ten Hag coming in and being the hard ass as well, as you're saying, he's drilling guys in training. Now it's not just a mutiny against Ronaldo like it was last year, where Ronaldo's being too hard on everyone. It's like, nah, so is the gaffer. And guess what? Now the best player and one of the greatest of all time is also doing this, got the same energy. Now it's as you were saying with the Rashfords, with these Martials, sink or swim time. Now it's sink or swim time for real. So for me, it's if he's gonna leave out in the blaze of glory in his final year, do it, bro. But doing all of this, offering out, I don't really buy it because no one's really going to be interested as well. Let's be honest.
Ronaldo, that's what I'm trying to say. Just Bayern before I read this tweet,
aren't interested. Chelsea aren't interested. Where are you going to go? MLS, he cannot enter US soil. Let's not forget. There's cases out on him. You know what I mean? So
it's cases and cases, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
DBE. Stay at United and hope for the best, bro.
100%. You know,
we keep saying Ten Hag has a plan for the GOAT.
Well, we'll have to see, man. Big up to Zamiasi, man. I don't know what is Tielemans involving who is half the price of D Yo-Yo and half the price. Also, Edu Jesus, good mates with Neymar. Maybe wants to come to North London one day. Well, one day that we'll never probably, you know what I mean, get, man. Listen, Neymar going to Arsenal, absolute zero chance, man. The Oracle, big up to you guys. I think when it comes to Arsenal, everything kept hush. Even Fabrizio saying that he has no idea about their targets. So what you read in the news might be a smokescreen. Well, if that's how they're moving, then fair enough, innit? Like, I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like right now, like I said, it seems all a bit scattered up in terms of what they want. You know what I mean? Yeah. But in terms of the Ronaldo one, I think for me, it's again his wages are a lot of money, a lot of money, and the fact that you have to play through Ronaldo, whether you like it or not, you have to play through him. Like there's no case of you saying, oh yeah, Ronaldo's sub player. Nah, man, everything will be through him, and he'll demand that at a club, and then he'll say in return, I'm gonna make you one of the richest clubs in the world in terms of revenue and commercial avenue. So for me, it's one of those situations where right now that's the deal. That's
the deal you lot signed with the devil when you brought him back.
I know.
When you lot wanted to do a honeymoon season and hey man, let's go get the GOAT back. Don't be going to City, come back home. And this is the deal you signed with the devil. You wanted all the commercial happiness, you're gonna get that. But you also better suffer for this next year with Ronaldo as well. And the thing is you say suffer, but he really gave you a lot of your high moments last year, bro. Let's be honest.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. I never discredit him. No,
100%. I'm not saying that. But in a team that was kind of failing, he was kind of the few highlight moments, in all honesty. Whether it was a hat-trick against us, whether it was getting you through Champions League games, whether it was kind of scoring important goals in the Premier League throughout the season. He was your top goal scorer in the end, if I'm not mistaken. So if Ten Hag can get the rest of the team ticking and have Ronaldo as just like this final third, just finish it off. Listen, I think there can still be room for Ronaldo. I don't think it's.
But does he want to play Europa League football though? That's the thing.
He ain't won the Europa League. Guess what, big man? Go and get another trophy. That's the motivation. How you motivate Ronaldo? Go and do the clean sweep of all UEFA trophies. You won every single other one. Go and get the final one. I know it's a low point in this year, but just like Zlatan came in, won the trophy, left on a high, you could do the same for yourself, big man. That's how you sell it, man.
Yeah, listen, I think for me, you know what I mean? Like I said, it just depends on what his ego can manage, innit? If his ego can manage it and he'd be like, yo, listen, I got to humble myself and be like, yo, I got to take what the Europa League and Man United right now. I've just got to take this. And this might be the last kind of big move. And then I have to think after that, at 38, I think then it's got to be an MLS thing or whatever, or going back home or doing something in it. Because right now,
forget MLS.
Lisbon.
He's got unfinished business with Sporting Lisbon. He needs to go back there, bruv.
Yeah, exactly. What Arsenal's movements in staple rivals isn't Arsenal in the mud. Listen, you know what I mean? You man wanted to talk about it. You man are talking about all these transfers, innit? So we're just trying to relay that, innit? So it is what it is. What's happening with Tottenham, man? I heard you, man, were doing some mad training, man. What's going on, man? This crazy Conte training. What actually happened? Break it down for because I mean, a lot of people are kind of confused as to how many lengths did they actually do. Like, it's crazy.
Nah, bro, listen, this is Conte's killer camp. And I think there was a quote I tweeted out yesterday where he says, my players, I prefer to kill him in training.
Yeah,
like, this is I think after an hour and a half of training drills, rondos, 10v11, 2-touch matches or whatever. And then man said 42 lengths of the pitch for everyone basically who came early in the season, and then the internationals who were coming back. I think we're doing 30 lengths. So guys like Son, Kane, and all that. Brother, I'm sorry. Anybody who's ever played football in their life, anybody who's ever participated in preseason in their life, know that period of the season is hell. But it gets you ready. It sets the tempo for the season. When you're doing that level of extra work on top of the already preseason grind, listen, all I'm saying is I cannot wait for the fruits of this labor. When I'm seeing them like Kane, Son, Basuma, guys who are known for their engines, collapse.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. Well, we are conditioning on another level. Humidity, 34 degrees in South Korea. We said, bring the heat. Say no more. I said, Conte is on a mission. And shout out, I'm not even gonna lie, shout out his one of his assistant. I think his Giampiero Vetroni, I think his name is. He's known as like the Navy militant or something like that.
Oh shit!
This guy
sounds
is
mad.
a drill sergeant who's followed him everywhere in his career, and I think Zidane has even said the reason he got into best condition of his career was under that Vetroni guy. So I'm like, brother, let's see the fruits of these labor, boy, because these men are working. That's all I'm saying.
No, someone say this. Some people argue that the kind of training can lead to injuries and take many years of prime.
That is another aspect I was going to talk about on THFC show later as well. Like, is it maybe a little bit of overkill? But then the way I look at it is no. This is the way I look at it. It's a mental thing as well. Tiredness for me is very much a mental thing, and sports,
mental,
So, ask any athlete, they'll tell you, bro, the mental side is 50%. If you can push yourself to the absolute limits in these kind of conditions, for me, when it comes to 80th minute on a 14 degrees day in November, bro, that's gonna seem like normal to you, pushing yourself that last 5 minutes. Do you see what I'm saying? You're gonna remember them lamps we was doing in Korea. This is light work. Let's go. Last 10, push. This is the kind of mindset that you set in throughout the season. So for me, some people can say it's overkill and it's not good for players' health. But for me, I'm like, these are athletes in the peaks of their condition. They're monitored. Their stats are their heart rates are all of that is monitored. So I'm sure this is being done in a good professional manner.
No, they've got to. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think Conte
pushing them to their maximum limits for me. So we'll see, man. We'll see what this brings.
And they were talking about the contract issues. When's his contract, Kane? It's never ended, man. He's still got a couple of years left on his contract, in it. Is it true or 2 years?
2 years still
and he's
left.
29 now, so it's not as if he's busting and got to get anywhere. But then Bayern Munich have lost. But I don't see Harry Kane like you know what it is, If Premier League now, to leave the Premier League, you've got to be absolutely certain that it will benefit your career. And right now, I'm telling you now, it's not. It's not really. Let's be honest with you, because at the end of the day, you've got the money here, the commercial deals here, TV, everything, the lifestyle, everything that you would want. Sorry?
Captain of the country, bruv.
Captain of the country. You know what I'm trying to say? So end of the day, people are saying, oh, you know what, Harry Kane will leave and that. I get Man City because it was a Premier League rival and whatnot, and etc., but I don't see him leaving. And all these things is kind of like, because Lewandowski's leaving, oh yeah, let's make an easy story out of Harry Kane leaving. 100%. It's not going to happen, people. Let's not kid ourselves. Harry Kane has always been a Tottenham man. You know what I mean? He was just kind of disgruntled. It's like Wayne Rooney. He made the transfer request, but I felt like he did it for the betterment of Man United. Yes, he was given that threat. Yeah.
Do you remember last season when the season ended, how it ended? Losing the Carabao Cup final, sacking Jose 6 days before a final. Europa League, Super League debacle happens the week before. 17 different managers rejected us. Then we ended up with Nuno, who basically is Jose Mourinho without the charisma and the accolades. Imagine picturing Harry Kane at the peak of your career thinking, brother, what am I doing here? What am I actually doing here? Do you see what I'm saying? Especially considering coming off the back of the England tournament you just had as well. So it's like, hold on, I need to move elsewhere. So I completely understood when he wanted to leave last year, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense. Now, as you said, it's 2 years left on a contract. I think he's in a position now of strength because his future's in his hands. It's up to the club to really back Conte, put something around Kane, essentially, that they haven't put around him over the last couple of years, which is actually a team that can compete and challenge for silverware, bro. Now you have a world-class manager. You can actually believe in that. Now you look around you, you've got Kulusevski who takes a bit of the load off you.
Yeah.
Son, who's for Golden Boot, takes the load off you. You've got a midfielder, Bissouma and Bentancur behind you, some legs. It's like, all right, you know what? Maybe there's something where I can work it. So in my eyes, I think if this season goes well and we compete for things, he'll possibly sign a new deal, a longer deal, because in my eyes, I don't think Kane is looking at anything else beyond Shearer's goal scoring record. I think that is more important to him than
how many goals away from it now?
I'm not even sure. Not many. Less than 100, dare I say.
Yeah.
How many more seasons of Kane have we got left as well? So it's a case of
I think you got at least 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable that he breaks it, but it's a case of does he break it at Spurs or does he break
80
it
left? 80 apparently.
80?
80 apparently left.
So what's that, about 3 or 4 basically top seasons? Does he still have that in him? We'll see. We'll see.
I think he could easily get another 20 goals next season. But the problem is, though, the last couple of seasons, how many goals has he got? Last season, how many goals did he get?
17, I believe.
17, yeah. It's them ones maybe a little dip. So I don't know. Check that one. Big up to everybody still watching.
That is because of the way he's changed his game in order to be more creative. Like he's put up more assist numbers over the last 2 years than he's ever done in his career combined, I think. So like I get it. And the previous 2 years before that, there was big injury issues. I think the last 2 years have definitely been injury free, which is a big benefit for Spurs. But I think going forward, I'm looking at it now. 19-20, he played 29 league games. 18-19, he played 28 league games. Meanwhile, every other season, he's played more than 35 league games. So for me, I think if he stays fit, he's got the right team around him, he can still bag plenty of goals at Spurs. And I think for him, even winning one trophy with Spurs will mean a lot more. And breaking this trophy drought for him would probably mean a lot more than winning trophy elsewhere. I personally hope we go on to win other things so we can actually have a fucking career that he can look back on as more than individual achievements.
Yeah, maybe we're looking at the goals too much now because of the fact that there's no kind of like
100%, bro. Let's be real. You have to look at Kane's game and his individual goals because he hasn't really won anything. He hasn't really contributed to any winning. But the thing is, that's why I said last summer he was probably so gutted. That was kind of the biggest moment for him to be like, yo, it's a team that I felt actually fitted him. I think Kane much better suits City than Haaland does, in my opinion. And I think they should have spent that Grealish money that they went out and made him a priority. They should have spent that on Kane because it was almost like a glove that perfectly fit. And he would have won his silverware there. He would have been able to break his Premier League record there. But if that move doesn't happen, I hope now he retires at Spurs for the rest of his lifetime on some Totti shit. Like we don't get many of those in the game no more, man.
Exactly. It's true, man. Big up to everybody still locked in, man. 1.1k in the building, man. Guys, apparently there's only 372 likes. Come on, people. I want to get to that 500 likes, people. So make sure, if you haven't liked the video already, you know what I mean, just let the Liverpool fans hold the L today. So hit the L for the likes, innit? You feel me? So yeah, man. Big up to Zoe Teng. He goes, you man love Premier League too much. Bayern is a massive club compared to Spurs. I didn't say that, by the way.
Let me keep it a real, man. Yeah, like I'm sorry, if Kane goes to the Bundesliga and adds 3 Bundesliga titles to his team, it don't elevate his legacy any much more. I'm pretty sure he would rather break Shearer's record than win 3 Bundesliga titles. I am 100% certain.
But I think he can do that with a trophy, though. I think that he still can maybe win a couple of trophies at Tottenham. I think now with Conte, I still think he can win a couple of trophies at Tottenham. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that they're going to win the Premier League or whatnot, but
listen,
add to his trophy collection.
Europa League, a little FA Cup, a couple of Carabaos, I'll take that. I'll take that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And you know what? I think then, you know what I mean? I think you never know what could be the situation. Because you got to remember, man, like, you know, if Tuchel could win the Champions League with Chelsea and him coming with how many months? If Conte builds a team that is ready-made for Conte, I know his European record is absolute shambles, but you just never know. Champions League, I always say, look at a draw. You just never know where you can end up. You got to the Champions League final with Pochettino spending how much? So there you go, man. So I think it's possible, man. So I disagree. I think winning the Bundesliga and fight for Champions League with an elite team Bayern means more. I'm not sure, man. I'll be honest with you, man. Most players now,
You
yes,
tell
you're gonna
Kane
win so
right
many trophies.
now, like Bayern Munich 3 titles, or you stay at Spurs, FA Cup, and Shearer's record. I reckon he takes FA Cup and Shearer's record. I said to you. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
is that obsessed at this point with that Premier League record. I don't think he goes abroad. If he does leave, I would have thought maybe Liverpool would have maybe tried something, because I think he is a much better player than Firmino is. The link-up play, he would have had that. He would have brought you the goals. He would have brought a lot more. City, Liverpool, neither wanted to go. For me, if those two aren't taking it, retire at Spurs, my brother, because do not do that. I ain't even going to speak about your club, but let's not do that. We're not going to go Newcastle for a last payday or nothing like that. Chelsea, hell to the no. It's not happening. So it's like, where else are you going to go?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Where is he gonna go? And that's just a situation,
Hey,
isn't it, where
imagine though.
what?
Imagine Kane just does a Sol Campbell.
Oh, no, never. Them kind of situations are over now, man.
The Invincibles, you know.
Bro, that would be crazy, man. Nah, I doubt that's gonna. I doubt that would be ever a kind of situation that Kane would cross his mind, man. You know what I'm saying?
You would not
Stay
be
at Spurs. Stay with Spurs, score goals and possibly win 0 trophies, or go Bayern, continue to score goals and win trophies and possibly Champions League.
Bayern, where you're not going to learn in German, let's be real, yeah? They're going to constantly compare to Lewandowski and say, he's basically a slower English Lewandowski. Brother, it's not worth the headache. Trust me. Bayern press, you think it's all lit over there till you go Germany and you realize, that's a pressure cooker as well, bro. And then when you get dumped out the Champions League, they'll say, hey, but Lewandowski, we won a Champions League with him. Kane ain't giving us that. Bundesliga titles won't be enough, bruv. Ask Mario Gomez. Ask Luca Toni.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, man. It's true. You get me? So it is one of them. Well, how many players are now you going for? Obviously, Jed Spence. What? Like, I still don't understand why this is taking so long, this Jed Spence. Anything else that you might are going for?
We're pricing him like a championship player, and Middlesbrough are trying to price him like a Champions League player, which is basically the club he's signing for is a Champions League club. So you better play Champions League prices. And it's like, it's not making sense. And apparently
they want sell-on fees, innit? And
sell-on fee and all of that, yeah, they're way off. So, but yeah, aside from him, I'm hearing Kyle Walker-Peters might be an option. We got a 30 million buyback clause. I look at him and I'm like, bro, I've seen him over the last 2 years become a solid Premier League player.
Can play left and right.
Can play left and right. I'm like, yo, you know what? If it's a 30 million option, that's what we pay for Emerson. Is he a better player than Emerson? Facto, he is. If people want to last week bigging up Richarlison to me because he's Premier League proven, what the hell is Kyle Walker-Peters at this point? Premier League proven. Right, so me, immediately I would go and grab that. If Jed Spence is taking too long and Middlesbrough are trying to reach the kind of price where it's nearly 30 million, go and get one that's ready made. I'm not taking a gamble on no championship talent in my eyes. That's how I would do it. But outside of that, I haven't really heard much, which is worrying because I thought centre-back, we still need addressing. Lenglet is not enough. I'm sorry.
It's not enough. Even I could vouch for that. It's not enough.
Lenglet and Ben Davis at the left centre-back position. That's a gap waiting to be penetrated in my eyes. And also in midfield, I feel like we need a little bit of extra creative spark in there. I think if you're going to get rid of Lo Celso, Ndombele, Reguilon, Winks, which have all been players who've been told, yo, you're not coming on tour, go and find the new club. That should be significant money coming in. I want to see that getting kind of relayed into either a creative player or a big money centre-back signing. Someone like Evan Ndicka, I would take. Badiashile at Monaco's a decent target.
Badiashile, yeah. He was one that was touted a few years ago, like being a
United,
emerging talent, yeah.
And Pau Torres were linked with. I don't want anything to do with that, brother. Gvardiol is being priced out of the market and bigger clubs are there as well. So for me, I think the best options, Ndicka, Badiashile, one of them to go and hold.
Why are you not feeling Pau Torres? What is it you kind of off?
For me, listen, I love defending. And for me, when I love a defender, I love your bread and butter to be the foundations of defending. Winning your duels, winning your headers, winning your challenges, 1v1 battles, like recovery runs. Are you an aggressive front foot defender? Can you read the game well? Those are the things I judge you on as a centre-back. Not your ability to bring the ball out the back. Not how many passes you have completed. Not how many touches you've had. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about your diagonal pass. all of that for me is a secondary thing when you're a centre back. And I'm sorry, Pau Torres, every time he's spoken about or every time his game is analysed, it's those things that are brought to the front. It's never bread and butter. It's never the foundation things. It's always, yo, he's got a 97% pass completion and he's played 2 key passes. And I don't care, bro. Like, how is he marking his man? Is he winning his aerial battles? Is he winning his 1v1s? Because if not, it's useless for me. It don't matter. I've got Lenglet to come and spray passes, and he can't defend. So I don't need
exactly. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's a sticky situation, man. But I think with City kind of like maybe losing Nathan Ake, they're gonna maybe go in for the Cavani that you mentioned, and maybe another centre back that you might have been linked with. So it's gonna be a crazy situation. But what are you thinking of Barcelona next season?
Joe Gomez, man. I don't know why he signed the new deal, bro.
I know him today.
Kind of shaky. And today, I know it was a kind of mad performance, but
you know the mistakes he did today was not a case of fitness. You know them ones where he was like proper shaky, and Liverpool fans were felt for it. He was terrible. He was getting run ragged. He was making mistakes.
I've always thought he's unlucky with injuries, man. I've always been like, bruv, if that player can get 1 full season under his belt, he's gonna be
Let us know, Liverpool fans, innit? What did you think of Joe Gomez today? Let us know. I thought he was very, very suspect today. I mean, and that was he was a weak link. But again, you know what I mean? Is he good enough to be starting? You know what I mean? It's one of them situations where, you know, Ebezine, we did talk about at the start of the stream. I think it's a good move for Chelsea. It's a very, very kind of like, you know, it's a good safe option, man. And I think for me, he improves Chelsea. But just the last point here, bro, like Lewandowski apparently should be coming through the door this week. They got Rafinha. If they keep hold of De Jong, they've got the centre backs are quite assured in terms of the Araujo. What are you thinking of Barcelona? Obviously, Dembele signed a new contract. Barcelona next season. What are you thinking if they can keep all of them?
Barcelona are hilarious, man.
They are hilarious, man.
Club in Europe, you know when man turn up for weeks in school wearing the same t-shirt and same trousers, and you're like, this brother's broke. And then come Monday day, he just rolls up in Gucci, Louis, Amiri. You ain't never seen drip like this. And you're like, bro, where you get all this money from? He just been acting broke all year. He's just here to floss. Right. This is Barca now. They've been playing broke all summer saying, hey, man, we need money for De Jong. Hey, man, anybody want to come buy the pie? Hey, who want to go 50-50 on Dembele? And now it's like, hey, Rafinha, bring him in. Dembele, new contract. Lewandowski, here you go. I'm like, where's all this money coming from? I ain't heard no announcement. It's crazy. So for me, if all is talked to be and all is completed, I think they're the
king of installments, man. They must be in it, the king of installments and haggling money because they owe De Jong money.
Yeah, they are installment kings. I can't lie to you. They owe a lot of people money. They're indebted for a lot of people. Apparently, they owe a lot of their players money as well. So it's funny.
Yeah, man.
They're gonna
and then they try to say to Dembele, like, take this contract or leave it. Like the way they try to like finesse. And now he's taking. To be fair to them, when you look at what they're trying to do, man, it's like, what can you get better than Barcelona for your career right now? And then they've got Dembele to sign a contract less than what he wanted from the start.
He took a massive pay cut, like I think 40% they said or something like that. Like that's crazy. I didn't think Dembele was humble enough to even do that, bruv. And I always feel like that period of Dembele, the Coutinhos, those Griezmann, those dumb deals that they were doing, I swear to you, I feel like that ruined the club. Messi's super contract renewals every summer, and it's just like now they're having to kind of be penalized by it in a sense, but some way, somehow, they're smudging the books and they're getting these men through the door. I mean, Pedri and Ansu Fati, I'm hearing their renewal deals, they're still earning pennies. So they're playing on even like, the emotional strings of the youngsters, even Gavi. I'm like, yo, fair play to them. I hope they do well, because I've been saying Barca for me is one of those European institutions we can't see fail, bruv. Like, we have to keep it alive some way, somehow, whether it's rebranding through the academy, which Xavi did small. January, he re-upped it with some PMP. Now he's got some funds, you know what I mean, some way, somehow. And listen, they're freeing it up.
There you go, people. Listen, we're going to wrap it up here, people. Still over 1,000 people watching. Guys, how many likes are we away from 500? Let's hope to do this now. So if you haven't liked the video already, here's your chance to do it now. get to 500 likes. And it's been a good show, man. Grizz, you know what I mean? Obviously, he'll be back next week. So just make sure you put him on his mentions, man. He ducked it, man. But yeah, nah, it's all love, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, people have certain situations they have to deal with. So big up to Grizz each and every time. But yo, Fuad, your channel is in the link in the description. Obviously, make sure you go follow Fuad Kudani on YouTube. Let them know what you're doing, bro. And yeah, man, plug yourself, man.
Yeah, bro. We're doing THFC show later on tonight as well, 10:30. Me and Tobes wrap up everything Tottenham from
on your channel, yeah.
Yeah, on my channel. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're tuned in. 10:30. We'll be going after Love Island. Of course, you know what I mean. We got
well, there you go, man. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them, man. You got to do it, man. The Love Island right now is hotting up, people. So yeah, I'm gonna put the channel here, people. I'm just gonna put it in the chat, and then make sure people to go and subscribe to the channel. It's right there, people. So make sure you go subscribe to the channel right there. And yeah, man, I'll be back maybe tomorrow. I might be back Thursday because I'm busy tomorrow, but I'll let you know, people. I'll keep you updated in it. But yeah, man, listen, 4-0. Liverpool, man, hold that L. Shush.